welcome to another edition of Inside Athletics, brought to you by the IAAF. I'm your host, Ato Boldon, and I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the desert southwest, site of the 2013 U.S. Indoor National Championships. You know, sometimes in this business, you just flat out get lucky, and we got lucky. Our very first scheduled guest on Inside Athletics is a young lady who in Beijing got silver in the Olympic pole vault. And last year at the London Olympic Games, she got gold. Last night at the Albuquerque Convention Center, she became one of only 2 women ever to go over 5 meters in the pole vault, indoors or out, setting the now existing world record. We have the very first interview since she's done that. Here's Jenn Suhr. Jenn, welcome to Inside Athletics. Congratulations on last evening.
Thank you very much.
What is it about Albuquerque why you always seem to come and jump well here?
I think, you know, coming the indoor season, this is the most important meet I have, so everything is scheduled to peak for this meet. My training is, you know, set right up for, you know, indoor nationals. That's the most important meet on my schedule.
Now, is there a part of you, I know obviously you turned your Beijing silver into London gold. Is there a part of you, though, that says, okay, so I have the medal that I've always wanted, but I also want to defeat Isenbayeva when she's at her best?
You know, I think everyone wants that. Everyone wants, you know, to be on top, and it's really, you know, staying with it. There's so many ups and downs in pole vault, and you go through so many hard times and good times, and it's staying with it. And you know, I think it's perseverance. And from Beijing a silver to a gold in London, that's what it was. It was just persevering through everything. Does
it feel better when you get the gold after the silver? I wouldn't know. I only got the silver, but does it feel better when you get the gold after winning the silver? Because I remember the disappointment on that track. I mean, your husband was really disappointed. You know, he talked about you getting stuck in the meat grinder. I'll never forget those lines as long as I live, because everybody else felt like, wow, it's a silver medal, and he knew you had the potential for gold. Does it feel better because you got the silver first?
Yes, you know, we were happy with the silver, and you know, it was a frustrating time not executing what I needed to, but you know, first Olympics to get silver, we were very ecstatic about that, and we knew next, you know, in London we wanted gold, so everything was set up. We knew height progressions, what we wanted to do was to go for gold, not anything else.
And you talked about some of those hard times. You were a standout basketball player, and then you got taken to Rick, and there were some really lean years back in the day. I read about, you know, Rick having to actually mortgage his house at one point. What is it that he saw in you, even maybe before you saw it in yourself?
You know, I think he knows his ability to coach, first of all. He knows what he can do with an athlete. He knows, you know, he believes 100% in his technique that he teaches in his coaching, and he just, you know, felt that, okay, you know, I could run, you know, I was tough, and I think he saw that, and he knew that he could just, you know, pretty much build off of that. And, you know, having not vaulted, I didn't have any bad habits either, so he taught me from day one the good habits and what to do and how to move poles, and, you know, so I think it was, you know, his belief in myself, and he makes you believe. He's just a coach that makes you believe that you can do things.
Right. Now, I spent a lot of years at UCLA watching the dynamic between Jackie Joyner Kersee and Bobby Kersee. What is that like, being coached by the person that you're married to?
You know, it's hard at times, especially because our facility is right in our backyard, so we have to learn how to separate our personal life, you know, and pole vault life. But when things are on top, like yesterday, you know, you have one person to celebrate it with, and, you know, just the same thing with the gold in London. It's just 2 people working so hard for one goal, and when it happens, it's emotional. Like, it's just, I can't describe it. We just cried. It was just so emotional, just having, you know, he knows what I've gone through. He knows how much I wanted it. He knows, you know, the hardships of it, and he knows that it was achieved. So, you know, to have that person behind you, it means so much.
Yeah, I think with the exception of maybe Felix Sanchez, you guys cried the most in London, but it was amazing to see. Now, let's talk a little bit of track talk now. You're now over 5 meters. Is that a big psychological barrier? You know, in track and field, there's so many clubs. There's the sub 10 club for 100-meter guys, the sub 44 club. Your club has all of 2 people now that over 5 meters. Is that a big barrier for you now?
It is a big barrier. I think, you know, I read all the time, oh, only one person has cleared 5 meters, and I was like, okay, I don't want to read that anymore. And I knew that I wanted to do something about it, and I knew I was capable. That's the thing, that I just knew I was not jumping to my potential. And I came out of Millrose in February, story, and I was disappointed. I jumped 465 and I was disgusted with myself. And I told Rick, I was like, it's time for me to go to the next level because this isn't going to cut it. And we did. And I just went and I started training. And you know, you have to, there's points that an athlete reaches that they push themselves further than what's comfortable, and that's what I did. And I broke through that barrier that I had. And so I knew 5 meters was possible. I just had to break through it.
Is there something that's happened specifically in training? You said taking it to the next level. Is there something specific that's happened in training where you went, you know what, if I feel like this when I go to Albuquerque, it's going to be trouble?
Yeah, you know, it is. I jumped in a meet a week ago and I jumped 484, but I just knew what I was doing technically. I knew what it felt like, and I had it in my head, and the feeling. A pole vaulter, you know, does it more by feeling, and I knew what it felt like, and I knew if I was healthy here, I could execute it, that I had a good chance of jumping. But it's pole vault too, so I wasn't going to call out anything until it happened.
Otherwise, you'd be a sprinter.
Yeah.
Now, you got to help me here with my metric. 5.02 is 16.6, correct?
It's like 16.5 and a half, I believe.
16.5 and a half. Okay, so now you're over the 5 meter barrier, and now your indoor PR is higher than your outdoor. What does last night's performance tell you about what you're capable of doing outdoors? Because you have to be thinking world record now.
Yes, and it told me a lot. I watched the video and I was just like, wow, there's so much I can improve on. And I wasn't on a huge pole. I wasn't jumping on huge poles last night. I've been on bigger poles than that, and I'm taking one less left than I normally take.
Right.
So I mean, to come and do that means, okay, I've become this much more efficient technically. Now when I put it all together with the speed and, you know, good conditions and stuff, I mean, I hope for big things, but it's a stepping stone. You got to stay healthy though.
Yeah. Now a lot of people hear us talk about on the air, she has to go up to the next pole. Just if you could quickly explain to the layperson what that means when we talk about going up to the next pole.
Going up to the next pole means a stiffer pole. It's like in golf where you don't know if you want to hit your 9-iron or your 8-iron. So, you know, it's very much where, okay, I need something a little bit stiffer to slow me down, like a stiffer pole so I don't go into the bar. It needs to raise me more than shoot me out to the bar. So that's what it is. It's just a poundage. So
yeah. So did you guys celebrate last night, the world record? A lot of tears shed last night, or no?
No, honestly, it was very, you know, I think it was something that I wanted. That was a goal coming in, and I don't want to say expected, but we knew, you know, it was a good shot of it. So last night it was very quiet. We were just hung out with some friends, sat there, went to bed, and woke up in the morning, and you know, it was. I don't know, it was just, I think, business, if that makes sense. Exactly.
Now, you have how many competitions now? Obviously, there's no world indoors. Do you almost wish like you had somewhere else to go vault next week?
You know, I was looking at a meet last week, and I was ready to go, but after this meet, I'm good for the season. I'm done, you know, and I have Drake relays coming up in a month, which I signed on for, so, you know, I'm going to take a break and go to the Drake relays and start my outdoor season.
So next time we'll see you is outdoors?
Yep.
Well, you can follow her at Jenn Suhr on Twitter.
Yes.
Her Facebook page, go and like her. And Jen, we want to thank you so much for joining us. You are our very first individual guest on Inside Athletics.
Very nice.
We're so proud of what you've been able to do here, and all the best outdoors.
Thank you very much.
My thanks to Jenn Suhr for stopping by and chatting with me. Congratulations to her on her brand spanking new world record. On your screen now is how you can continue to interact with us via Facebook, email, and on Twitter. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Inside Athletics.